Hello, so today I am doing a video on do you really want to be successful? And I'm going to read my notes if you see my eyes wandering. Um, so it took me a little while to realize where success comes from. And I think a lot of it, or I believe a lot of it, is how we market ourselves and how we present ourselves and how we how our overall character is presented towards others. And I think the main thing is, for me, is to have positive energy. And I know that some people just are like, Natalie, there's got to be more to it than that. But I think that finding the positive in everything it goes on to other people. You pass that into your first circle. And not only that, but it keeps your mindset in a positive place. So, back to my notes because I can ramble, as we know. Success is all about marketing yourself and becoming duplicatable to your team. So you want to present yourself in a way that other people respect, and then they want to therefore follow in your footsteps. So one of the things that when I first started this business is, and I did it without even realizing, I found someone that I respected and I followed in her footsteps. And thankfully for me, it ended up being my sponsor. She made it look easy, but she worked and she had the determination and she had the drive and the dream. And that all just came naturally for me. And so I just followed in her footsteps, and next thing I knew, I had an amazing team, and here we are. So now reflecting back and thinking, answering people's questions when they say, Natalie, how did you get to where you are? I have to really think about it because I can't just say, I don't know. So obviously it was marketing, and not only marketing the product or whatever it is that you might be selling, but it's marketing yourself. It's how you present yourself. You want to lead by example. You want to model behavior that's favorable, and then they want to duplicate it. Leading by example causes certain things to happen, and if you're in a positive mindset and you stay upbeat and present yourself in a positive manner, then other they really have no choice but to follow your lead. And if they don't end up following your lead, then you'll find that they just don't follow anymore, and they end up not being a part of your team. Is ultimately what ends up happening. You want to see the positive in everything. I have a funny story. One of my girlfriends sent me a picture of her ex-boyfriend one time, and it was really, I knew what she was trying to say, but I didn't see that about him. He had changed, and he wasn't, let's just say, as healthy as he used to be. But he was standing in an amazing garden. He had created this beautiful garden, like honestly gardens that I only see in magazines or movies or whatever. And so he had created this beautiful garden, and so she and I are texting back and forth, and I said, look at his garden, and she goes, no, I'm not talking about the garden. Yeah, the garden's great, but I'm talking about him. And I said, but seriously, let's look at the garden. She was like, you're no fun. All you see is the positive. And it hadn't really dawned on me that sure, he was unhealthy and he didn't look anything like he did back when she dated him in high school. But I decided several years ago that I was truly going to see the good in everything, and I was truly going to see the positive in everything. And it's amazing when you put your mind to it that it just becomes a habit. It becomes a process of life. And yeah, we could have made fun of him and this, that, and the other, but what would that have accomplished? Nothing. I wanted to take note of his gorgeous garden. Another example that I read in one of my books that I've been reading is it talks about a baseball player got robbed and out of his truck, and a baseball bat was stolen, and he said. And the other guy goes, oh, man, you lost it. That's horrible. And he said, no, I'm just thankful it wasn't my new baseball bat that I got for Christmas. So, see, it's all in how we look at things. And I think that truly is the main aspect to building your team, building your business. mindset. Our mindset creates attitude, and our attitude determines the actions that we take or actions that we don't take. If we see something that is a little less than positive or negative, then maybe we just don't follow in that path. Maybe we go in a different path. I find myself, myself included, a lot of people want to focus on adding to their first circle, adding to their downline. When what we really need to be doing is we need to be teaching and training through example to our first circle. They're the most impressionable ones. They're the ones that are looking directly up to you to help them grow their business, much like I was my sponsor. I was looking directly to her because who else was I going to look to? I followed her example, and thankfully it worked out well for me. So I'm hoping that I lead by example to my team, and therefore it benefits them as well. But I was under the impression that I needed to have a whole lot of level ones, that the more level ones that I had, the stronger my team. And it wasn't until I started self-evaluating and looking at my team and where it was going that I realized that it is not the number, not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So the better trained they are, the better knowledge, more knowledge that they have, then the stronger team I'm ultimately going to have. I would rather have 5 really, really strong level ones than 60 ho-hum ones. So I changed my mindset. Instead of going out and trying to get all these new level ones, I decided that I was going to be thankful and appreciative of the ones that did trust me and did choose to join my team, and I was going to focus on them and say, what can I do to help you? How can I help you grow your business? Because ultimately that's what we're doing, right? We're growing a business. We're not growing a downline. We think in the beginning that that's what we're supposed to be doing, but in reality, we're really growing a business. And the more that we treat it like a business, then the more financially profitable it will become. Back to my notes. Let's see. Okay, I already said that. Now, let's talk about the negative things that do hold people back. Prejudging. And I think that's human nature. We all tend to do that. We all want to look at somebody and go, oh, that's going to be my rock star. Or not so much on that one. And I've found in situations where I have prejudged, I'm wrong. I end up having to eat crow. The ones that I don't think are going to be my rock stars are my rock stars. If any of my rock stars are watching this, I was not thinking about you, just globally. Prejudging. So don't prejudge, because you never know what little nugget lays inside the person you might be presenting this business opportunity to. Rejection. We are all so fearful of rejection. I mean, think about it in our everyday life. We are so caught up in not being loved or not being appreciated, or somebody not liking us, or whatever the case may be. The fear of rejection when you're running a business and when you're trying to present a product or present your team and they say no. Let's face it, if that's the worst thing they do is say no, that's pretty good, right? So I try to worst case scenario things before I go out and present something or think about something. Worst case scenario, and if I can handle the worst case scenario, I can handle anything. So rejection, we're going to get that. And if you try to find the positive in the experience, maybe you met a new friend through that experience, or you learned something about yourself. Find the positive in every experience, even rejection, and you're going to come out ahead, and you are already a stronger person through having experienced a rejection. Feeling skeptical. I know a lot of times that we get skeptical, or we'll encounter a skeptical person, and we pick up that energy, we pick up that vibe. But I want you to tell yourself over and over in your head that what is it, that Stuart Smalley guy where he looks at himself on Saturday Night Live and he says, I'm good, So I want you in your head to be thinking that. And ultimately, you won't have those skeptical thoughts anymore. And also, I mean, I find for myself when I am skeptical, it's because I don't necessarily know the material, or I don't know the product, or it's something that I'm not confident in. But let's just face it, we can't know everything about everything in this business. So it is okay to say, hey, Joe, I don't know the answer to that. Let me get your information and I'll get back to you. I'll have an answer back to you later today or at the end of the week. It's okay. People would much rather you be honest and say that than to ho hum around or give them some, lame-o answer or lie to them. And then there's negative thinking. Let's face it. The other thing that holds people back is negative thinking, and whether it's your own negative thinking, your family members' negative thinking, people that you're around negative thinking, whoever is putting the negative thoughts in your head, just you kind of need to cut the cord. So don't let negative thinking come into your head, and don't allow people to think negatively about you or say negative things. And if you feel that they are, then just put some distance between yourself. I found that works really well. We already talked about worst case scenario. We talked about that. So that's it. I think that the main thing to being successful is you have to decide, A, do you really want to be successful? Yeah, I want to be successful. Okay, what's standing in your way? Is it you? Are you standing in your way? Is your thought process standing in your way? Is your lack of knowledge standing in your way? Is it because it's nobody else's fault if you're not successful but your own? You can blame it on your team. You can blame it on your upline. You can blame it on whomever. But ultimately, it's up to you. No one else is going to make it happen except yourself. And I know that's harsh and that sounds a little, gosh, Natalie, I'm not really as successful as I want. Now you're telling me that it's my fault? Yep, I am. I'm telling you that it's your fault. You can go out there and you can ask your upline questions. You can ask other people questions. You can read books. You can research. You can train your level, your first circle, your level ones. You can be anything that you want to be. It's your decision to get out there and to make it happen. So I want you to ask yourself, do you really want success? And if you do, that's awesome. I'm here to help you if you happen to be on my team. And even if you don't, I'm still here to help you. But I wish everybody the best of success. Let me just make sure that I went over all my notes here. So basically, lead by example. Make yourself duplicatable to the rest of your team. And that's it. Kind of repeating myself now, but that's kind of what I did. Okay, so we're going to remain positive and we're all going to be successful. So have a great rest of your day, and feel free to message me or email me if you have any questions.